Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where each week we try and put the love back in your ride. I'm one of the hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and the Coco co-host, Coco Caliente, aka Mr. Romance, aka
Mr. In the Pants.
yeah, Mr. aka Mr. I Got the Rose, aka Manulus Rojas Martin.
Yeah.
What up, man?
Shout out to Big Daddy Chris, man, with the popcorn. You're the best. Like I said, man, I sent you a message. When we are in your town, me and Jay, first drink is on me. So
yes,
I got you.
Yes. Big Daddy Chris was at the taping.
Oh, what?
Special taping. Yeah, dude.
Wait. Look at what Victoria said.
Wait, what?
You guys are
dude, I didn't even know we were matching. That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, so Chris, I'm not going to talk about it on this because this is about love and being black and white. But, tomorrow we're going to talk all about it. But yeah, there's so many great stories and crazy stories. And I was telling Manny there was a shooting.
Jesus Christ.
So
St. Louis.
gotta come tomorrow for the Hollingsworthless at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. What up, Mariah? Me and Mariah. Victoria's here. Big Daddy Chris is here. Okay. What was our teaser from last week?
We left off last week saying, what are your thoughts on shows like The Bachelor and 90 Day Fiance? Are we obsessed with romance shows in America? Yeah, I wonder if that's the case all over. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
San Francisco 49er girl, surprised we could do the pod today. Manny's always ready to go. It would be on me if we didn't today, but because I love you guys, and I flew back from St. Louis. Let me see. I think I had 2 hours sleep last night. I left St. Louis at, I want to say 8:45 Lewis time, and then I got here Vegas 10 o'clock Vegas time or whatever, 10 something, and I came home and I said, "Hello, Wrinkles, come on, Wrinkles," and then I took a nap until about an hour and a half ago. I just slept. And then I have a show. I'm starting a week of shows at Brad Garrett's tonight.
Nice.
But you know what? This podcast isn't about that. This is about love and fucking. So
pull out Game on Fleek.
Yeah, finish what you're saying though, Manny, about the reality shows.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just a U.S. thing or if it's an international thing. I think people are obsessed with love. I think that to a certain extent, everybody's looking for love. If in black and white. I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's an obsession with it. I mean, is it even real to do a thing of you're dating like what 20 people? I never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but it's like if you did that shit, 20 people that you're really dating, can you really get to know somebody in that short amount of time? Maybe.
I don't. It's dating in general. Like I don't really like dating multiple. Okay, let me clarify. Like I'm talking dating. Like if you're seeing someone not just to fuck, but you're like, I'm seeing this person with the potential. Like I'm really digging this person. I like their personality. I think they're beautiful, whatever. And this might be, I want to see where this goes. Mm-hmm. I don't really like doing that with more than one person at a time because I feel like, and this has happened to me where let's say there's like 2 or 3 girls that I'm talking to all of them and I'm trying to make a decision. Right. Well, it's like you're getting to know, you may fucking all of them. You're like, fuck, man, all these women are great. They're great people, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you get stuck where you're like, fuck, I got 3 fucking people. I got to make a decision.
For sure. Yeah.
So I don't like that. And then, dude, that's even like I did speed dating one time. Mainly just, it was at the parlor. That was why.
I remember that.
And I didn't even really like sign up for it. I just was like, oh, I've never done speed dating. Let me go see what this is all about. And
yeah.
I think I went through one shift, like where you go, you'll talk to person. Oh, what is your story? Blah, blah, blah. And then like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever the time is like, okay, you're moving. So you move over and now you're with a new person. And you're like, but what? I was fucking digging that person.
Yeah.
And, do you make even in that short time of connection? You're like, look at that bitch laughing at that dude's jokes now. 5 minutes ago, I was the funniest in here.
She ain't sincere. Did you see that? There was an autistic dating show. That was actually really like interesting. They had oh gosh, hold on.
Dude, I'm not even gonna say it.
I know you're not gonna. Manny it. Yeah. No, what's it called? We all know how my horrible joke back in the day trying to get in them Asperger's. Oh god. But yeah, it was an autistic dating show, and it was really endearing. But it was on Netflix, and it was just kind of cool to see how they matched up everybody with they tried to match them up with the right type of people, and yeah. Did you leave when Ruben sat in front of you?
Yeah. I was just glad he was in front of me. But
yeah,
never Flavor of Love. I think you know what it is dude, and I as you get older, I think it maybe turns out I think just people like drama, and
right.
Especially if it's not their drama. You're like you'd be like, I would never want to deal with any of this shit, but it's interesting seeing, you got a lot of shit you're dealing with, and how's this gonna work out.
Dude, first off, with Mariah, Flavor of Love, that was some crazy shit. Like Flavor Flav, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not saying I'm anybody to look at, but it's like Flav looks like a cockroach, man. And it's like, did anybody really want to date him, or are you just trying to win the show? You know what I mean? Right. Like, ultimately,
Hoops was fine.
She was gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Jack was getting that diesel pipe.
But it's like you wonder, even with like Rock of Love, it's like, are people really into these stars, or is it more you just want to win a show and get a little bit of celebrity from it? So, I mean, I don't know, man.
One sec, I gotta grab this thing from Wrinkles.
Yeah, you're good. But I definitely think that to a certain extent it has to be about, I think people are obsessed with the drama. I don't think that people are really into it for, I think people want to see a happy ending with a love story, but
I'm trying to think what up, N? I think I'm trying to think of what are some like successful reality show relationships. You had, what's his name? Boston Rob from I think it was Survivor.
Okay.
And then he married, I think, a girl from that show, and then they went on. They did Survivor multiple times. They did Big Brother. There's been some Big Brother things. I don't know if they're still together.
Mariah said, I remember seeing Flavor Flav in the airport in Vegas, and I almost threw up.
Because you just couldn't believe how aroused you were, Mariah. You're like, oh god, I have like butterflies.
I mean, I think I wonder if some of those real world or like road rules romances are real. You kind of stuck with somebody, and what's going on, Daphne? I think that you're stuck with these people. You have like real experiences. I wonder if some of them are real, because it's like, think about this. I don't know if you've ever seen this show. It's called Naked and Afraid. That shit is crazy. So, you survive with somebody in the wilderness or the desert for 30 to 60 days. You may have some sort of chemistry after that. But, I mean, after a week.
That was a description of her without makeup.
Jesus.
Go ahead.
No. I'm going to let you live on that.
The guy's like, oh, God. I'm naked and afraid of how you look.
Oh, man. So there's a bachelorette who's still married. Yeah, my friend who was on, I think it was 90 Day Fiance, or it was like one of those love at first sight days. They're still married. They have 2 kids. So I guess, it works. Only a handful, though. So
yeah, it's I'm trying to think if there's any of the what are the reality shows I watch now. I like The Real World, The Challenge, that shit.
Okay, yeah.
Challenge, like, but I don't have MTV to watch it. But like my friend Hillary, she fucking loves it. Her and Jack watch it all the time, and then they'll suck me, and I'll be like, yeah, let me watch an episode. Then I'm like, let's watch the whole season.
God, yeah,
that's because there's like competitive shit in there, and then they also there's like a lot of head games they play and shit, so that's interesting,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you get drawn into those, it's really seeing the psychological warfare that takes place. Cookie McJingles, what's going on? Well, anyways, I think that I think we agree that I think it's just I wonder if it's just a fad, though. I mean, I think that it'll eventually fade off and there will be something else. I don't know. I mean, and
so? I don't know, because the reality show's been now. MTV's Real World was probably the first, right?
Yeah, no. I think the reality shows are here to stay. I don't know if the dating ones. I mean, I guess they'll be around in some way, shape, or form. but they'll eventually just change the format, and it'll be like, oh, now you're like running an obstacle course. If you get to the end, you get married and you get $1 million. It's like, if you don't die, then here's this.
Exactly. I mean, you just mentioned that they have one for people that are autistic. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they just they just repackage shit.
Exactly.
Like they'll have who wants to date another white? Tim Joe's like, I don't live that life no more.
That's so stupid. Oh man. Oh well. Okay. Moving on. The next question that is proposed this week: if your spouse dies, how long are you waiting to get laid? Second part of that question: how long should you wait to be in a relationship?
That's a great two-parter, because I was like, to get laid.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have needs.
Hey, that's good. Yeah. Good point. I mean,
is there
I feel like men and women are going to be different. Like, ladies, if you want to answer in the comments, how long are you waiting? Okay, Victoria said a year.
1 year to get laid, Victoria. To get laid, not date, not like a relationship, but just get your
look at
back.
Cookie's being real.
Yeah.
I
mean, dude, it might even be like, maybe somebody gets an escort.
Yeah,
I just want touch, or I just need a physical release, so to speak.
Right.
You might meet somebody at the wake, and then wake up them lawns.
That's so stupid. Oh man.
As soon as the first offer, Bradley's to be in a relationship. Okay, so a year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A year to relationship. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think a year is reasonable.
Okay, we'll do the relationship secondary. What's everybody's thoughts on to get laid? How soon after the person passes? I mean, it also probably depends also on how they died.
Yeah, because if you're not,
was it a car accident? It was sudden, and you were in a great relationship. All of a sudden, this person's gone, or maybe they had like a
maybe they had a Patrice ONeill type scenario where they lost their vagina for a year and you couldn't use it. You know what I mean? So then you gotta. Okay, so Cookie said 6 months maybe for some booty. I think 3 months is respectable. I don't know.
To get laid.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't know. Victoria said, "Can I plead the fifth?"
Yeah, no, but I mean, okay,
I boning on the fucking casket.
What if you found out they were
casket, dude? Fucking like
Wonder Man brought up a good point. What if you found out they were cheating after they passed? Ooh. You'd probably go cheat the next week. You know what I mean? Like, or you probably go, I mean, it's not cheating after they're gone. But unless I was already checked out, I may mourn my ex for a long time. So I don't know.
Let me rethink this, because we're talking about. I'm assuming we're talking at a level like this is somebody you loved. This is the love of your life. Yeah. Then
let's say you've been together with that person for at least 15 years.
Jesus. All right, dude. Yeah. Then, I mean, I probably hadn't been fucking for a while, anyways.
Yeah, I gotta. With Cookies. Cookie, I'd probably wait at least. You know what? I'm gonna be real. If it was Crystal, I probably wouldn't be interested really that much in like sex. I'd be wanting to get my mind right. So I'd probably like 9 months to a year. So
Victoria asked how long would I wait if she died. I wouldn't wait till you were dead. Anyways.
This is stupid.
It's a trip. Is interesting that we do this dating relationship podcast, and a person that I used to date
is on it.
Yeah, but I mean, she's friends. Like I said, I'm friends with everybody. You know what? I don't know if I would have a time. I like, because if this is like the love of my life, somebody I loved, I wouldn't even be thinking about it, and I'm probably going to be in mourning for a bit, and it would be something that it presented itself, and it would, I don't know, I
mean, like Chris said he's be the same way, like 6 months, which I agree. I think that I mean, and that's the thing. If you've been with somebody for over, 15, 20 years, it's like you may not even know how to engage sex with, other people, and for a while. So it's like you'd be easing into that.
Or maybe you'll be like Phil, be like, I mean, this one's a guy, so it's different.
Oh man.
By the way, I'm going to say this really quick, because we have 8 people in here right now. The recording, the taping I did, I'm not going to talk about it on this because this is the dating relationship thing. But tomorrow on the Hollings Worthless, there's so many amazing, incredible, insane stories about this last weekend. Chris was there, Critter 83, and one of the stories includes a shooting. So you have to turn in tomorrow. That's all. Critter, don't say nothing about it. We're gonna talk about it all tomorrow on the Hollings Worthless. It's going to be 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Man, I cannot wait to find out what happens because I haven't heard shit yet. So all I've seen is videos of Phil twerking on a wall. So
Cookie brought a good point. Sex is about release. It's not about love. Yeah, that might be even another thing. Like maybe you're like, I need to have sex, and maybe you intentionally go for like an escort. Because you're like, I don't want a mental or emotional connection with this person. I just want a physical release. Yeah, I can masturbate or whatever, but I want a body there. Right. So I'm going to intentionally get an escort so there's no connection.
I mean, you think about it, like same thing with Robert Kraft, right? I mean, he had been with his lady for X amount of months, months for years, decades. And, so I think it was really about a release in that, with that scenario. So
yeah,
but I would say, I'd probably, man, I don't know if I'd want to get back in a relationship if anything ever happened to Crystal, just to be honest. I mean, a relationship for companionship, yes, later, but I don't think that I would necessarily want to get married or maybe even really have a girlfriend. I mean, somebody to hang out with for sure, but I wouldn't be too about locking it down.
And I've always, we've talked about this previously on the podcast, like I've always been a person where it's like if I'm like I can count on one hand the people I've said I love you to, like it's that's a main. And if we're talking about somebody I loved, I've also always been where if I'm with someone and I'm like we're in a committed relationship, awesome, and if I'm not, I'm still in a good place. So I've never. I have a buddy that's like this where he always has to be in a relationship, and if he's not, he's like literally depressed, just really bad. And so, if I've had that connection with someone, it's I'm not probably going to be in a hurry or big quest to get into something right away. It's interesting. It's an interesting scenario.
Cookie poses a great question. Do you believe that you only have one true soulmate? I don't know if I believe in just one true soulmate. I mean, if you want to really believe in the like what a soul is, this is my take on it. I think souls come this is my take. So I think souls come from the original source, right? They all come from God. So I think that on some wavelength we're all on that same energy. I mean, there's different energies, but I think that I think you could have multiple soulmates. It's like if there is such thing as a multiverse and you have multiple souls throughout those multiverses, there could be other people that you're married to. And so that, yeah, man.
Fucking deep and bringing in Marvel.
It.
I think there is only one true soulmate, but I identify as multiple souls. No, I
don't you soul shame me.
yeah, exactly. You think you're better than me? You got more souls than me.
Fucking whatever, bitch.
Fucking energy drinks kicking in. I totally just spit on my monitor when I said that. I think it might be the Brooklyn Tale. Have you seen that? Where he's like, you get the mob boss. He's like, you get three. You get
a Bronx Tale.
Yeah. You get three matches in your life, and he's like, unfortunately, all mine came before I was like 17.
Yeah. There's such a great movie if you haven't seen it. A Bronx Tale. It's pretty much about Jay's life. But it really. I think that I'm with Cookie. I think that there's a few people I've had connections with in my life. Probably only two, but yeah, no, I think, we each had a connection. So, I mean, me and Crystal's connection is deep on a whole nother level, like spiritually, physically, all this other stuff. But, I would say the person before her, was so wait, hold on. What did BS Jeffrey say?
How long after the funeral does the next soulmate? I think, can you have multiple? I would say, yeah. You know what? I'm going to say yes. The reason I say that is because I look at it like this, like, and I think you probably, as you get older, your view on this might change. Because I look at it like this: is when we're young, you're like if I was as a kid growing up and we're friends, and I'd be like, Manny is my best friend.
Right.
I have friends. Manny is my best friend. But now I have like 5 or 6 like best friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that you can have that same connection with some of your dating or in love with. So
I agree. So, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's it. I was just gonna. You get it.
Yeah. So here's my thing for Cookie though. Okay. So let's say you have multiple soulmates. So let's say you and your first soulmate, your soulmate dies and is in heaven, but then let's say you hook up with a new soulmate. When you get to heaven, my question is your other soulmate gonna be pissed and like, who the fuck is this? We supposed to be hanging out for all of eternity, or is it really till death do you part? And Victoria says, FYI, Manny, I'm sad I wasn't invited to the wedding, asshole. I am sorry, everybody. That I didn't want to put anybody up to that cost. That shit was so expensive.
I know what you mean, Victoria. I know what you mean.
This mother, you know what? Let me just shout out. This motherfucker said, you know what? You can invite me, but I probably won't make it.
I didn't say that. What was I going to say? Yeah. Or what if reincarnation? What if your soulmate dies and then she comes back, but she comes back as a gay guy, and it's like, man, I'm really trying to get at you, man. And you're like, I ain't gay. Like, I'm your soulmate, man. Like, I don't like men's no more.
Oh, that would be rough.
Jesus. I don't like men's no more.
Natasha said, no fights or love triangles in heaven. Fair enough.
yeah, there you go. I'm the lie detector, Cookie. I thought I was in love at 20, Cookie says, and by the time I was 30, the lie detector determined that was a lie. Yeah, that's dude, that's an interesting scenario. Like, excuse me, if you believe in reincarnations or reincarnations,
those are flowers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to give you your flowers while you're here, Manny. Your reincarnations.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, what if reincarnation is a thing? That would be a funny movie. I wonder if somebody has that movie.
No,
your soulmate passes away. Ooh. And then they are reincarnated as a guy, and there was no, that was somewhat different, but yeah, they come back and they're like, I'm your soulmate, and you're like, man, dude, and they have like all the info on you and everything, and you're like, what the fuck?
That'd be crazy. I'll tell you off air, but I had a movie script that I was working on that had something to do with that. Not quite that, but
gay porn.
Yep. Just semen everywhere.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. Well, on that note,
get it?
I see what you did there, rear naked choke guy. Let's see. Okay, so the next question is actually a good follow up. If someone is overly religious, is that a turnoff? If someone is atheist, is that also a turnoff?
Well, I told the story on here about. Excuse me. Okay, well, let me just answer the question first, and then I'll retell the story. But hey, Felicia. Felicia, tomorrow we're going all over the whole weekend, which was crazy, but it's on the Hollingsworth list. You got to come for that. Anyways, so I'm not a very religious dude. I always say I'm a Christian with a Buddhist twist,
right?
Like I don't believe in an all loving God that, like, if and people, we're gonna get into philosophy and religion here, but which you're never supposed to talk to, but I don't give a fuck.
That's right. This is our podcast, damn it.
Yeah. Like I don't believe. I believe God to be, if God is a superior being, the most high, the most intelligent, and all this, whatever, the Bible can say whatever. I'm just discounting it, but also that's man, interpretation or writing down. But if God is supposed to be the superior being, I can't imagine a superior being, all loving, all knowing, that if you live a righteous life, like you're going to tell me Gandhi. Well, Gandhi's a bad example because he fucked over women. But somebody lives the most perfect life, but they did it under the guise of as a Buddhist or as a Mormon or as a Muslim. you're gonna say this all powerful, all wise, all knowing God is like, sorry, you went under a different title, you're going to hell. You know,
I agree 100%, and I think that it's like, to me, I'm with you. Anybody who is part of the church is going to hate me probably for saying this, but I just know that if there is, I believe there's a God, and I think that he's just so much bigger than what is, listed in the book, because it's like, if God created everybody, I don't think he's mad at gay people. You know what I mean? It's like, I never woke up once and was like, I'm going to be straight today. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. But
plus, you also have all these, you have all these religions that were way before Christianity that like line up with all the stuff in Christianity. So it's like, I'm like, well, I've always said, whatever you believe, if it helps you to be a righteous person, I support you. I'd rather you be an exceptional Muslim. I'd rather you be an exceptional atheist than a bad Christian or whatever. So brother Ezekiel's about to get called in, but there's a poem that I love that it's kind of my philosophy for life. It's a poem by Dan Inosanto, and it's called I think it's called The Tree of Life, or it's by Dan Inosanto. I'm gonna look it up.
Called The Tree of Life. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Inosanto. Let me look it. I'm looking it up right now.
And as Brother Jay does his research, I just want to say that here in my church and Brother Ezekiel's church, that love is free. Don't be afraid to love on people. Love them where they're at. You know what I mean? Go ahead and love them in a pew. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? And the most
I like the rhyme.
What I'm saying.
Love them in a pew. I don't care what you do.
I don't care what you do. Go ahead and pass that plate around one more time. And I think Fred might have something to say. Go ahead, Brother Fred.
Yes.
And see, that is why Fred does what he does, because he is so deep in thought and he wants to bless you all. So, that's it. That is where we are living.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. I found the poem. It's Mountain of Life.
Okay. Way off.
Yeah. Tree of Life, Mountain of Life. It's close. Okay, so just a little backstory. Dan Inosanto was one of Bruce Lee's students, and this is a poem he wrote, and it was in Bruce Lee's book, Jeet Kune Do, or whatever. But anyways, it says, we are all climbing different paths through the mountain of life, and we have all experienced much hardship and strife. There are many paths through the mountain of life, and some climbs can be felt like the point of a knife. Some paths are short and others are long. Who can say which path is right or wrong? The beauty of truth is that each path has its own song, and if you listen closely, you will find where you belong. So climb your own path, true and strong, but respect all others' truths, for your way for them could be wrong. And that's my favorite poem all time.
I love it. So good.
Yeah. Oh God.
Do you want me to say my favorite poem?
No, here we go.
No, it was on
pop, that coochie. Pop, pop,
that coochie, baby, pop. Yeah, no, I think that those are great words to live by, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But yeah, what was our original
brother
question?
Fred talks too much. Yeah, so can somebody be overly religious? Is that a turn off for you?
Yeah.
Or if somebody is overly atheist, can that be a turn off for you?
How do you be overly atheist?
I
really don't believe in the existence of anything.
Like, I mean, if you have a little bit of faith in anything, they're like shooting you down and like fucking with your faith. So
yeah.
My neck, my back.
Yeah, that's Felicia's favorite poem. Yeah, I think you can be too much of anything, but I've dated women that they go to church every Sunday, and they've asked me if I'll go, and I'll go maybe once, but it's not my thing necessarily. It's my favorite poem. Nice. My neck, my back. But yeah, the atheist thing, like, I think it's like, as long as you're cool with each other's views and it doesn't, you don't feel like they're not. It's like, I guess it'd be like if I'm dating a vegan, but she's like, I don't give a fuck if you eat meat. It's just not for me. All right, cool. Then we can get along. But if she's just like, oh, you're gonna eat that Jesus meat again? And then the story I was saying about Jay overly atheist. Yeah. So this is I told this on a previous podcast, but there was a girl that she used to come to the parlor all the time. real pretty. She was like a goth girl and really beautiful. And I was back up in Seattle. Yeah. And she had come to a show and like we were talking afterwards and then like, making out or whatever. And this is when the parlor in Seattle was open. And so we go back to her place. We're in her living room and it's decorated really dope. She has like these skateboard art and all this other shit. And then we were like, oh, maybe we should move to the bedroom. We go to the bedroom. I lay back in the bed. So now my head, I'm looking up on the wall, and above me, painted black, is like a goat's skull.
And like a pentagram or some shit.
No pentagram, but just I was just like, okay, my dick's like, hey man, we should probably head out. Yeah, so I'm gonna head out here. No, did not try and tie me up, but
oh man,
yeah, I just was like, I didn't even ask her anything about it. I just saw it, and immediately my dick is like, hey bro, I'm out. You want to come with me or?
So stupid. Oh man, yeah. I think for me, honestly,
by the way, have you ever like hooked up with a girl that maybe she's goth or maybe she's a Wiccan or anything like that, or dated or anything like that?
Kind of goth a little bit, but then she kind of got out of that whole goth thing and then became kind of just regular chick, just normal. But
wait, you don't think goth people are normal?
Well, we just want to say here on Love in Black and White that we are apologetic if we are shitting on anything that you believe or anything that you are. If you're goth, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. And yeah, back to you, Manny. So yeah, no, she was just, I think she
fucking
she went through like a phase, I think, of like some of the like dark eyeliner and like black hair, and then she got away from it. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's Nobody Likes Onions. That's Pete Melton.
Ooh.
Anyways, Tammy Joe could be Wikan or not. Wikan. I believe that's the name of an African gentleman I dated.
You do not know me, Beats.
Is that a new character? Wikan?
Wikan?
Yeah.
It is pronounced Wikan.
Wikan forever.
Wikan forever, you muddy fucker.
Oh, fuck. These might be a few overly atheist Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens. Fucking Wikan. Oh my god. Oh, we gotta have Wikan come back. Oh fuck. All right, what was the next one?
All right, next question. If a lady is going to be in a relationship with you, Jay, or Manny, does she have to be able to hold her own with your friends, i.e., give a joke, take a joke?
Yeah, so I've women I've dated have been all over the place as far as like personality wise. Like I dated this girl Cho that was Chorang. Her name was Chorang. But she was kind of quiet and reserved. And my buddies, I remember like one time we were hanging out and she's just kind of quiet. And they're like, is she like pissed or something? I was like, oh no, she's just reserved. Then you have like Victoria. Jesus, fucking yappity yap. No, I think you know what I mean, you want your significant other to be cool with your friends, but she doesn't need to be a comic, like
totally.
Just be herself and get along. And the other thing too is like, I mean, like if somebody started shitting on my girl, I'll be like, hey, give it back. I'll be like, hey man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's not a comic. She's not here to fucking roast each other.
Exactly. I think it's a plus. I mean, if they can take a joke, give a joke, because I've seen where I think buddies who bring their ladies around other comics, they're not able to take, I guess, a joke per se. And then it just escalates and they're like, I don't like your fucking friends.
Yeah.
And I've seen where, we have one buddy. I don't think he has any comic friends anymore. Just because his lady kind of dominates his life. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I'm trying to think like
Crystal roasts the fuck out of me sometimes. You know what I mean? Like literally, she's like, you know what I mean? I'll think I'll have a good outfit on. She's like, you really going to wear that? I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. In your head. She's like, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Sometimes I think that the roasting goes too far, because I'll never forget, like, as I started to get out of shape during the quarantine, like I had my shirt off and she was just like, remember when you used to have a six pack? I was like, God damn. I don't think she meant it like that, but I was like,
you're like, remember when you used to have a husband?
Exactly. I was like, you know what? Let's turn the lights off. I don't want to fuck with the lights on anymore.
Oh, welcome to my world. Victoria said, fuck you. I'm awesome. You're a loss. Okay. No, I mean, it's
yeah, wait, hold on. Can I address something?
Yeah.
I am like blown away that Cookie's husband is quiet. Like, I wonder if that's like for real, because it's just like I've never met Cookie, but I think Cookie is probably one amazing person to hang out with. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, it's like that. It could be that opposites attract thing.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think we haven't hung out with Cookie, but I envision that she's like you said, like very fun, outgoing, probably kind of like talks during movies, shit like that. And I'm so sorry, Cookie. It's just jokes. It's just jokes. But I could totally see it's like she's like the life of the party and her husband's maybe more reserved,
right.
And
true.
And like they have a good balance,
Yeah.
And so I think it's I mean, most of the time, if it's somebody that I'm dating, they've already kind of been through the filtering process of I'm talking to them, and I'm not going to bring them around my friends unless it's probably something that like they're going to see this person over and over again. Then I've probably figured out that they're somebody I want to spend time with.
That's a good point.
Mariah said my parents grew up roasting at us at home, so my partner can't be too sensitive.
That's another great thing. You think about it, it's like if you bring somebody home to your parents, I feel like to a certain extent they've got to, like my stepdad, he'll roast the shit out of you. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to be okay with that, I think, in order to be in my orbit. He talks mad shit. Same with my mom is like very loving, but I think she can talk shit too. So yeah.
Felicia said, your worth, Victoria. I mean, sometimes,
is that in pesos?
Bradley's still looking for my opposite. Daphne said, get him Cookie. Maybe they balance each other out. Yes, Victoria, exactly. Okay, where are we at?
Yes, so we just wrap that one up. Let's see. Okay, let's go with how would you address your person putting their job before family, i.e. missing their kids' big moments, sports, academia, etc.?
Good question. And also I want to bring up Gary Owen, because we talked about him before.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new stuff?
No, so please elaborate on the new stuff. So for those of you who didn't tune in last week, make sure you check out last week's episode. We kind of elaborated on it. And Jay will provide us the update for this week.
Yeah, so basically, Gary Owen, it's Owen, right? Not Owens.
Yeah.
It's Gary Owen. Gary Owen is going through a divorce with Kenya Duke, his wife, and
out of Oakland.
And he posted a picture in the green room that just said breadwinner and like the definition of breadwinner. And then so she went on Instagram and she was like, you haven't seen your kids for 6 months, and you aren't paying bills and blah blah. You're a deadbeat dad and all this shit, right? So Owens to the blacks. And so he just was on Wendy Williams, who Wendy Williams is like straight up like, let's fuck on the show, and like fucking be gone. Anyways, but he said he goes, it's true, I haven't seen my kids in 4 months or 6 months, but he's like, they're adults. He's like, I'm on the road. One of them's at school and now she's back. He's like, I'm talking with them, every texting and talking daily. But he's like, they're adults. It's not like they're at 12-year-old and at home. He's like, they're all at college and adults. So I don't know. It was interesting hearing his side of it. And he addressed, like, I think one of the theories or rumors was that he cheated on Kenya with Claudia Jordan. And he was like, Claudia's like a friend to both me and Kenya. He's like, I called Claudia to have to get advice or help for Kenya to get her hair done. It's an interesting interview on Wendy Williams, which I never thought I would recommend. Go see something on Wendy Williams. I can't stand her, but
oh,
you get to hear his side of it. Now to answer your question, which was what was it?
wait, shout out to Dwayne Goad.
Is Dwayne in here?
Yeah. Shit. Thanks for mansplaining.
Dwayne. Oh, Dwayne, I miss you, brother.
Yeah, follow Dwayne Goad, one of the best comics we know. Let's see. If a lady is going to, oh no, sorry, that was our previous one. How would you address your person putting their job before family, i.e., missing kids' big moments, sports, academia, etc.?
Yeah. I mean, as comics, it's I think it's all, do you set expectations up front?
Right.
Like, dude, what's one thing that's crazy is, imagine, let's say you're a working comic.
Right.
Let's say you're Dwayne Goad, just a crusher. Just fucking
just a beast.
Standing, never, they call him Never Bomb Dwayne, but
standing O's all the time.
Yeah. So but let's say, okay, so let's say you're just this comic you're single, and you work every weekend, almost every weekend, so you're on the road all the time, etc. Then the pandemic happens, right? And you meet somebody, and then you start dating, but for that whole year she only knows you as you're not on the road, you're doing Zoom shows maybe, or podcasts, and then shit opens back up. And you're like, all right, babe, I love you. I'm going to be on the road for the next 6 months. I'll see you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Whoo.
So I think setting expectations. Dwayne actually, I mean, fucking, he might actually have something good to say for once. Because Dwayne, you've been married to your wife how long? And you met her at a comedy club, correct?
And they also have a kid. So I mean, there are moments where, I mean, you've probably got to be gone. I mean, same thing with Kermit Apio. He has kids, but I'm sure that there's big moments where you got to go. And I know that his kids play sports, and you're probably not going to make every. So yeah, Dwayne's been married 20 years. In July. Nice. Man, way to go.
We'll see if you get there. But that was another thing Gary Owen was saying. He's like, deadbeat dad. He's like, was I a deadbeat dad when I sent our kids to private school? He's like, and he's like, was I a deadbeat dad when I was filming in New York, flew back to go to my son's game for the day, and then flew back to New York? And so all that shit,
yeah, it's tough. I mean, but ultimately it's like, why are you beefing with your ex on Twitter? Keep that shit cordial. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one thing he said too. He's like, you're not going to get me on social media or here on this show bad mouth in Kenya. He's like, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, and he explained the shirt. He goes, look, he named the brand of the shirt. He goes, I bought 20 of these guys' shirts, and I had on black and white Jordans. I looked in the bag of all these shirts, and I said, oh, here's one that's black and white. So I just put that on, and I told my homie, I was like, green room pick, as a joke. And he's like, I just put it up. He goes, I didn't mean it any malice. He goes, it was a little irresponsible looking back, but he's like, I didn't mean anything by it.
That's good. I mean, as long as it's cleared up. But I think that, like you said, you got to set the expectations. It's like, if that's the understanding, especially with kids, you don't want to miss too many big moments in life. But I mean, shit, it's like, if your kid's graduating from college and then you've got the Tonight Show, I don't know, man, what are you taking? You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough one. I mean, don't get me wrong. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, ask Dwayne, off the top of your head, Dwayne, can you remember a time where there was a big conflict with your work life versus your wife? As we were waiting for that response, Cookie said that's part of marriage, give and take. You understand? I think it's a big thing of it is setting expectations from the beginning.
Right.
Like, we talked about the Patrice ONeill thing where he told his wife, for the most part, that she was like third or fourth, I think, four
on the list.
She's like, well, like, you're like number 2 to me. Like, I have my daughter, and then you're like 2. And he's like, well, that's cool, but you're 4. Like me, my mom, my career, and then you.
Yeah, man. I think that shit's tough, though. I mean, it's like, you don't want to miss too many moments for your kids, because I think all that shit's important. It's like, it's important to be there for them during even the small moments, especially for like baseball, soccer. But let's see.
Dwayne said, "No, I'm a fantastic husband, and she's lucky to have me. I can say that because she's not watching this." I want to go back up to I want to use Kev on stage as an example of somebody that I think does an amazing job with everything he does. Felicia said, "I was on a date and the guy called another girl while we were hanging to prove he didn't want just sex from me because he can get it from someone else. That was our first and last time hanging. Holy shit. But did you guys fuck?" Okay. That's wild. Hey, look, see, hey, I really like you. That's why I can fuck her if I want any time. She's right here. That's wild.
Man.
But yeah, so I think Kev's an example of somebody that one of the hardest workers any of us knows, and he's crushing it on his career wise, and I think he crushes it on his family side. He's successful marriage, 2 beautiful sons, and just
you know what, he's like everything you wanted Cosby to be. That's what I mean. Like he's the
way to jinx him.
Sorry, my bad, Kev.
No, he is. It's funny too. Like anytime somebody asks me about Kev, and I'm like, he is how he is. Like he's genuinely a great dude, and like somebody you cheer for because he is just a great dude. I mean, there's so many stories that it's not my place to tell, like of like amazing things he's done for people, and also like there's been drama, that horse shit that's come up, and I bite my tongue because I want to defend Kev, but it's like not my place. I know Kev would just be like, don't worry about it, this and that, so I don't say anything. But there's a lot of shit I know that I know, and I'm just like, he's a fucking good dude, Okay, so
Dwayne had a good he said, "I've missed a few school functions, felt like shit about it, but someone has to entertain the Hickson organ." And also, when your
wife.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Dwayne. I'm so sorry. It's just a joke.
We just want to say here on the Love in Black and White podcast that we are a fan of Mrs. Goad. She is a fine person, and she can dish it. She can dish the shit, because I did a school function, and I was swearing a little bit on stage.
We were there.
You were there with me.
Yeah, Dwayne threw me up on that.
Yeah. And she totally like made me feel like shit, because she was like, "Manny, you were swearing. I'm probably going to lose my job." And I felt like, I was like, God damn, I felt awful.
She was like, "I'm fucking with you."
Yeah, so good.
That was, oh God, dude. Yeah, Dwayne is, maybe, what, we'll, tomorrow on the Hollings Worthless, as I don't know, because we got so much to talk about the taping. I don't know if we can get to the story, but I want to tell the famous green room story with Dwayne and Kevin Pollak. It's
God. And then another thing I want to do is eventually maybe have Dwayne on, so you guys can just see how awesome he is. It'd be cool to have a 20-year married guy in the comedy business. Comic on this show. So we'll get him on at some point so you guys can all meet him.
I mean, or we could just get his wife.
There you go. She's probably a lot better. Yeah. Okay. Last question before we get to the teaser and all of our plugs. How should a parent address a step parent treating their kid unfairly?
Ooh,
man, that's
that is a good question.
That's a tough one. I mean, because it's like, I know I've seen where like step parents, I've seen where they have their kids and they treat their kid one way, and then they treat the other kid unfairly. And then I've seen one where like it's been the one parent treats all the kids, no matter if it's step kids or whatever, treat them all great. But then I've seen the other one treat her kid like they're great, and then everybody else like shit, which is just fucking crazy. And it's like, how would you address that, I guess?
So I had a stepdad. My stepdad, whose name was Jimmy. My dad's name was Jim, or is Jim, and my stepdad's name was Jimmy. But he was like, I don't know. He was pretty like, almost like not really emotional, or it was kind of, I don't want to say standoffish, but like we didn't really have any trouble like with my pops and my stepdad.
Right.
And so I don't know. I'm trying to think of any scenario where
Okay, let's
I used to steal money out of his little change bag. I used to do quarters and shit, or I would drink his alcohol and then fucking fill it up with water, and shit like that. But I don't remember anything too crazy.
Yeah. Okay, let's play scenario. Let's say you and Corin have kids from from opposite relationships. You treat Corin's kids great, but Corin's always harping on Jay Jr. And she's always like, how come he can't clean? How come his grades are all fucked up? But her kids got F's and everything. But you're just you're helping them with their homework. And she's just shitting on your kid that they can never do anything right. How are you gonna address that with Corin? She's like, I don't know, Jay, but you need to talk to Jay Jr. This motherfucker ain't shit. You know what I mean? And you're like, damn.
Yeah, I would probably be like, I'd try and give examples, and I'd ask her, I'd be like, I would think like, I would not address it in front of the kids, of course, but I would be like, probably take it aside. Like if something happened that day, like she went off that day, I'd be like, hey, do you recognize or feel like you treat Jay Jr. differently than Poiron 7?
Yeah. First off, shout out to Felicia's stepdad. That's super dope. I love when, a step parent has your back, yeah. God, man. But yeah, Corin Jr. can get away with everything, right? But it's but Jay Jr., yeah, that would be a tough one. I think for me, like, let's say me and Crystal had different kids, I would kind of address it the same way. I would be like, hey, I don't feel like you're treating, Manny Jr. fair, but I do feel like, you treat, Tammy Joe Jr. so much better than you do, mine. And all I ask is that whatever you say to your kids or whatever you don't say to your kids, keep it the same with mine, because
keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy. Don't be bringing that negativity. I get that you have problems with either, my ex-wife or whatever it may be, but you need to, keep it fair. Wait, my bonus.
First of all, I love my bonus children. I love that. That's sounds so much better than my step kids or whatever.
Exactly.
But Cookie said my bonus children are grown, but I do love some more than others. Always keeping it real. Not Tammy Joe Jr. Yeah. And Victoria said it's tough. My dad don't like the word step, treating me better than his actual kids. Even said I was the favorite. But I think it's because he was there while I was growing up. Oh, that's nice. That's cool that he lied to you. Yeah, so I think I would take her to the side and just ask her if she first. I'd want to get her perception. Like, does she, in her head, is she like, oh, I treat everybody the same? And then I can give examples and be like, well, you never said this to Quaron Jr. but you're always shitting on Jay, and then go from there, and talk about it from there. I remember my dad, like, I mean, this isn't, it was my mom, but and it wasn't her shitting on me, but it's just like just popped in my head for some. I remember when I graduated high school, which took me 5 years because I bounced around so much, and I moved during the middle of one school year and stuff, and I was always having trouble in school and shit. And so my senior year, I lived with my pops. I graduated, and I remember my dad calling my mom and be like, he did it. He's graduating. And she goes, what were his grades? And my dad goes, did you hear me? He's fucking graduating. That's all we wanted, man. Fucking one thing at a time.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Our teaser for next week. Let's go with, okay, here we go. Jay or Manny. If you were the first man, aka female president's husband, would you act right for 8 years, or would you still be you?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm the yeah. What if you just got cocky, motherfucker? I'm the first man.
Well, I mean, like, let's say you're the first man. Are you going to step back from comedy and talking all the shit that you're going to talk, or are you going to do all the book tours, the baby kissing, and all, and the school stuff, or are you gonna continue on with comedy and embarrassing your wife? She's like, everybody's
why would I embarrass her, Manny?
Because
what are you trying to say?
Because all that shit you talk on stage, you know what I mean? That's not PC, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Are we gonna play it? Yeah, so that's a good question. Are you gonna play it by the book with the president, or are you gonna
Cookie said Jay ain't got no act right. I get that act right juice.
Try to get that act right.
I mean, I'm gonna still
wait. Is this the teaser for next week or?
Yeah. This is the teaser. Oh yeah,
okay. Yeah. So don't answer it.
Sorry,
yeah. Okay.
I think Cookie's. I think on the right path though.
Yeah.
Jay ain't got no act right. All right. What do you want to plug?
I'm just excited for the Hollingsworth list this week, man. Just like I kid you guys not. They have not told me anything about what's gone down over the weekend. I was mad that I couldn't be there, but I may have a big announcement tomorrow to tell you guys. So, and why I couldn't be there. So, anyway.
Yes. Yeah, some people came in late. I just want to say, so it's the Hollingsworth of tomorrow. It's live. We're going to do it just like this, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Critters, or AKA Big Daddy Chris Robinson, is going to be in the chat. He came out. He drove. I'm not going to deliver it. He'll be in there. Carl will be in there. And then we have some insane stories, funny stories, terrifying stories. I'll just tell you, a shooting was involved in one of the stories that happened over the weekend. So that's all I'm going to say. That's all. That's all I'm going to plug. I'm at Brad Garrett's this whole week at the MGM. If you want to come out. Yeah,
me too, Chris. Oh man.
I don't know. Cookie asked if an hour is going to be long enough. We may have to do it in a two-parter. I would say let's just go long. No, I was going to say I would say we can just go long, but I have at 8:00 all week. I'm at Brad Garrett's. So,
gotcha. And Phil's always late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is related to one of the stories too.
There you go.
All right. I think that's it. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming, and which is what I say after sex.
And until then, we'll be putting the love back in your right. It's love in black and white.
Thanks, everybody. I love you all. Okay, bye.